Denver is the next hot spot. But before you pack all your belongings and move here, watch this video. I'm gonna give you some things you must know before you make that move. If you guys enjoyed these videos on the Denver metro area and feel like you guys get a lot from it, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like my videos, share them to people that you feel like that can utilize this information. All those things will help me tremendously. And if you're looking to buy or sell in the Denver metro area, please utilize the number below. Don't just watch the videos, but let me help you. Let's jump right into the video. I want to give you some things you must know before you move to Denver. And some of these things might be the reason why a lot of people is planning to move here to Denver. So I'm gonna give you about 8 things, and hopefully this can help your decision and help you determine would you be making that move here. First thing I want to talk about, this is a friendly state. If you have a family, I advise you to look at Colorado, move into the Denver metro area. This state, this area promotes a family-friendly lifestyle. There are plenty of things to do. For our sports, there's many outdoor activities you can do with your family. Education is huge here, and they have multiple events that happens throughout the year here in this area. Some people right now at a place where they're like, man, this is not a great place for me to raise my family. I need to go somewhere else, kind of start new, start fresh, and put my kids in an environment where they can thrive and grow. Colorado, Denver metro area is a great place. It's a place where you can feel safe. You know, you feel that your kids are safe when you're not around. When I look at one of the reasons why I decided to move back, that played a part. You know, I felt comfortable raising a family here. I feel comfortable starting a family here. Sometimes we just need a fresh start, see something new scenery, just kind of start over. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Sometimes that can be hard when you got a family. You know, you got to think about that. Like, will they benefit from this as well? Maybe I can get a lot from it, but will my kids get a lot from it? Will my significant other get a lot from it? You know, will they benefit from this? With Denver metro area having a lot to offer, I think it caters to a lot of people, a lot of different individuals. I always talk about how there's so many different areas that fit different people. So maybe you start off in one area, and as your kids grow older and kind of find themselves and figure out who they are, they can then migrate to another area. But the area might not be too far from where you at. Or maybe you're young. You know, you maybe mid-20s, early 20s, and you kind of want to start something new. You get here, you get to an area where, hey, might fit you at this moment. You start a family, find someone. Now you migrate into another area. So I just feel like it fits a lot of people and has a lot to offer. So if you're coming over with someone else, they can kind of find their niche in this area, kind of find their thing. But this is a place that, like I said, is very family friendly. It's amazing to raise a family here. So many things you can do, you know, from the sports to the outdoor activities, and, you know, be involved in your child life. And you can see that people care. You know, we'll talk about education in this video. They care about that here. The second thing I want to talk about, the second thing you must know before you get here, is something that's extremely important. I think it's very important for your first time coming out here. Your first maybe couple months or maybe a year or so, it's the altitude. The altitude is a big thing. That's not something you can just overlook. It's very active. You know, when you get outside and be active, and maybe you playing basketball, running outside, whatever it is. When you're outside, you're going to feel that altitude. I mean, even inside, you're going to feel that altitude. The time that I knew that this altitude was nothing to play with was when I got to college. Got to college in January. I was a mid-transfer, so came in January before, you know, football started up and we got to report back. Went into the rec center, played basketball with a couple teammates, and man, when I tell you, I felt the altitude. I felt it, chest burning. Like coughing. You feel it. You're going to feel it. No way around it. And it's funny, usually during the summer, where a lot of the freshmen and high schoolers come to college for football, and every report, you will see a lot of our trainers on the sideline. It's usually more trainers on the sideline because they know a lot of these people are maybe not from Colorado. They're coming from Texas, California, Florida, wherever. So they're not used to this altitude. So you will see more trainers waiting and kind of be more patient and being there just in case someone need that help. And trust me, you see a lot of people throwing up. You see a lot of people wheezing, coughing. The altitude getting to them. Altitude sickness, something that you might experience as well. And honestly, I think I experienced that myself when I was living back in California, and I would come out here and visit, and I go back to California, and sometimes I would get sick, like real bad. It won't be for too long, but I think that had to do with the altitude. It was just out of nowhere. One day, just full of sickness. It was horrible. But if you're planning to come out here, if you like the outdoor activities, take it slow your first few times. Get used to it. Once you get used to it, then you can kind of rev things up. And if you guys don't know, a lot of athletes come out here to train, to use the altitude as a benefit for them later down the road in whatever sports they may be participating in. You know, do you guys remember when they had the elevation mask, where they had the mask and it was basically like mimicking the elevation, you know? So it can be a benefit, but it most likely will be a problem when you first step foot into Colorado. You know, as you're walking around, you probably won't feel it, but as you start doing more active activities, you start doing, you know, being more active, maybe playing a sport or hiking, biking, whatever, that's when you're really going to feel it. Chest going to be burning, you know, you'll be coughing, and it's dry up here as well. So expect to be hit by the altitude when you first arrive. You know, it's normal. A lot of people, most people experience it. And if you're playing a sport, you can use it to your advantage. You know, maybe if you're training up here, or if you have a competition out here, a team come down here from somewhere else, they're not used to it. So it can be a con and a pro. And I think it's more so con when you first get up here, and as you adapt and get used to it, becomes a pro, because now that's something that you're adapted to. Then, you know, you got that in your tool belt. You're a little bit more well trained than someone else that's not here in this area. The third thing you must know before you come up here, the natives, the Denver natives, the Colorado natives, they love their city and they love their state. Can't really talk too bad about them. You know, I tell people all the time, one of the biggest themes you will see here in this area is the natives versus the out-of-staters. They're used to a certain way of living here in Colorado, so they really stand by that. And then if you join any Facebook groups, if you're planning to move up here, join those Facebook groups. You get a lot from them, you know, so you get to learn a lot of things, and you get to see a lot of things before you actually make that move. But when you join those groups, you will see one of the biggest things they talk about is like the food down here in Colorado not being that great, but you'll see a lot of the natives defend that. You know, they're not gonna let you just talk about Colorado food and that it don't live up to other states and it's not that good. They're gonna defend that. They're gonna feel some type of way and let you know they feel some type of way. So here in Denver, in Colorado, they love their city and state, and they have every right to. It's a great city, great state, got a lot of things to offer. So I can see why they feel some type of way. You know, I'm from California. When people talk about California, I'm quick to defend California. You know, that's where I was born and raised. It helped shape me. So I understand how they feel. This state, the city helped shape them. This is where they spend most of their lives. This is where they was able to grow into an adult. You know, they have their life lessons here. Maybe they met their significant other here. So it means a lot to them. You can't just walk in and just mess up their playground. You know, you can't just talk about their playground. This is something that they helped build. So I 100% understand why they feel that way. And like I always say, this is a great state, great city. So to a point, I agree with. And I will say, with a lot of people coming into Denver, you know, the natives do feel some type of way. You know, you get some people that's very welcoming. You get a lot of people that's very welcoming, but you get a lot of people at the same time that's trying to kind of slow it down, just because they seeing things change as more people coming in. You know, pricing going up, job markets are more competitive now, you know, so things is changing as more people come into this great city and state. The fourth thing I want to talk about is the young professionals that's here in this area. Like I said, I mentioned in so many videos, this is a great economy, one of the best economies in the US. So you have great job opportunities. So you have a lot of people coming here, but you don't just have older people coming here. You have a lot of young individuals that's making that move to here. So you're a young professional looking for a new start, looking for something new, come out here and check it out. See if this fit for you. If this is something you might like, you can start a new life here, because you do have a lot of young professionals here. A lot of people that's in business, maybe they start in business, or they are managers, or they're in a business where they can grow and get to a higher position. So you got a lot of young professionals. If you are in business, definitely check out the DTC, the Denver Tech Center. That to me, that look like a small downtown with a suburb lifestyle. So it's like a mixture between the two. But you see a lot of young professionals in that area. A lot of people that coming in town for business, or maybe it's a convention, whatever it is. You'll see a lot of people in that area. It's in the name, Denver Tech Center. It sounds very professional. It sounds like an area where a bunch of businesses reside. So all my young professionals, take a look, check it out. Come here and spend a weekend here and see if it's a fit for you, because you won't be alone. It's nothing like being around your peers, being around your age group, being around your demographic. So it's amazing to have other young professionals here that relate to what you can relate to. Right now we see there's a big gap or a big difference when you look at different generations, because our generation, or the younger generation, grew up with technology, where our parents didn't. So it's a lot of things that they might not understand that we understand, we do things a certain way. So to be around other professionals, not just a bunch of people in this age group, but a bunch of people in this age group that's actually working towards something, it's amazing to be around that. Definitely that's what your life is about. That's your lifestyle. The fifth thing I want to talk about is the outdoor activities. Expect to be part of those. Expect to get outside, to roam outside, to see what nature has to offer. That's a big part of Colorado. So maybe if that's not something you partake in, or something that you really care too much about, it might not be a fit for you. Just because when you look at activities, a lot of the activities involve being outside. Everyone's different. Some people love being in the house, being at home. Some people, everyone's different. So you just got to know what you like to be around. If you're not really a fan of hiking and biking, then it might not fit for you. Or maybe you like to be outdoors, but you like to be more so around water, beaches. You're not really going to see that here. If you plan to come here and kind of say, hey, I'm going to go out and meet new people, you kind of got to be outdoors to do that. That's where mostly everyone will be. But I will say this though, so maybe outdoors is not your thing. Once you get here, you'll start to kind of experiment and kind of dabble into little different things, and you widen your horizon. Before you get here, you might not be so much into that type of thing, but a year or two from now, once you arrive, you might be really into it, just because you see a lot of people around you involved in that. So it's kind of, that's your environment. So maybe it's not your thing right now, but you like, man, I kind of want to get more into that lifestyle. Check it out, because you might get here and just get very influenced and find yourself partaking in these outdoor activities. Because being outdoor, surrounded by nature, it's a huge part of this Colorado lifestyle. This is something that a lot of people move here for. You got photographers that love the nature and taking pictures. You got people that like to write. They want to sit outside, look at the view, and get inspiration. So this is a big part of the Colorado lifestyle. The sixth thing I want to talk about is the sports. If you're a big sports fan, Colorado has just about any sport you can think of. All the major sports they have. If you're coming over and you don't already have a team, you got so many different teams to choose from. You got the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, Colorado Avalanches. You have Denver Nuggets. You got everything. Anything you can think of for as far as sports-wise, they have it here. Maybe college sports is your thing. You have CU, you have CSU, you have Air Force. So you have so many different colleges here. You have so many major sports here, professional sports here. You can choose from whatever. I know some of the high schools are kind of known for their sports. So from high school, maybe from little leagues all the way up to professional. You can find a team in each level. So that's amazing. Some states, some cities don't have teams. And this is a place where I have just about every major sport. So whatever you like to watch, you have a team for it. You can take your kids out to sporting events and let them let them grow a bond with you over sports. And watching sports in person is a little different than watching sports on TV. It's a different feeling you get when you in those stands, in those arenas. It's different than sitting on your couch and eating a bag of chips and flipping through the channel. So having teams here locally is great, but this is something that promotes like that family friendly state. That's something that promotes this family friendly lifestyle. This things that play a part. You can take your family out to these sports events and grow this bond. So when you talk about sports, they played a huge part in my life, played a huge part in me becoming who I am. You learn a lot. You learn how to work with a team, not just be an individual, but learn how to be reliable and rely on others. It's a huge life lesson. So if sports is something that you're looking for, or something that's kind of a must, if you're looking for an area where sports is a big thing, this is it. Check it out. The seventh thing I want to talk about is it's a marijuana friendly state as well. So if you guys don't know, Colorado was one of the first states to legalize recreational marijuana about 7 years ago. There's said to be more dispensaries here in Colorado than there are Starbucks. That's huge. That's crazy. So for all my 420 lovers and people that love to partake in the marijuana lifestyle, you will have no problem here. You won't have people looking down on you. You won't have people mad at you or side eye. It's crazy because in certain states and cities, that's like the worst thing you can do. It's a lot of people don't agree with it. A lot of people look down on it. So those individuals, they feel like they have to be secretive. They can't let the world know. They kind of gotta partake in their home, in the comfort of their home, or it's this thing where they can't be themselves completely. But here in Colorado, it's a lot of people that partake, a lot of people that enjoy that lifestyle. So if you enjoy that lifestyle, you won't feel uncomfortable. You won't feel like an alien. And as you know, they have so many different events, conventions, and things that go down here in the Denver area for marijuana. A lot of people use it for medical reasons. So it is a big part of certain individuals' lifestyle. It's a big part of their life. It's something they can't just overlook, or something they can just stop and just say, let me quit. It's many reasons why people use it. And I also think that's one of the big reasons why you see a lot of people move down to this area, was because of that. Once they legalized it, made it official, you've seen a group of individuals come down and just enjoy life, so, and it also promotes great business opportunities for certain individuals that's in that industry. You might be in an area where, like I said, it's not allowed, it's looked bad on. Hey, move here, get your business going, wherever. I don't know how it works, how, the right steps, but look into it. It's something that might be that. And the eighth thing I want to talk about, the last thing, is education. Education is a big thing out here in Colorado, definitely in the Denver metro area. You see a lot of these cities have some of the best educational systems out of the whole U.S. Down in Parker, you see where there's a ton of college grads that's coming out of that area. So this is a place that promotes education. They believe in education. They think education is the way. It's a must, So, like I also mentioned in this video, you have different universities. You have the Air Force Academy down in Colorado Springs, Colorado University down in Boulder. You have Colorado State University down in Fort Collins, and you have a bunch of other smaller universities, UNC, So you have so many different educational systems, educational institutions. You have so many different places to choose from. And it's not just like, okay, once I get to college, just before college. Colorado is a place where you see individuals investing into their children education. It's something that means something. They see that it makes a difference. And this is one of the reasons why I say this is extreme family friendly state, because you bringing your kids over, you want them to get a great education. That's something that's very important. You can't overlook that. And it's amazing to know you can get a great education from K to 12, then from, college, there you have it. There go 8 things you must know before you head over to Denver, Colorado. If you guys have any questions in regard to real estate in the Denver metro area, please utilize the number below. Once again, I'm LaRyan King.